Okay, we have self-appraisal. Self-appraisal is not consuming or a joy killer. That's the affirmation out of my book I'm writing for today. And what do we want to say about that? Okay, first of all, I want to shout out to Susan. She got a regression from Ivan Teller and shared it with me, and we talked for a few hours yesterday on it. So if you want to get a regression and share it with me, I will be glad to talk to you about it. And it was awesome. I knew we were sisters in many lives, and he confirmed that. Yep, he connects with either one of your angels, your guides, your ancestors, your higher self. And that's where you can go in and get some information on who are you? Who were you? Okay, who were you? So I highly suggest a reading. They're only $50 for a half hour. That's the cheapest. And he's got a great open schedule. He sends you a video of it or an audio of it, and either one. And he does it the same day, right after the session. Very responsible, very good. So anyways, I recommend that. And we're going to get right into the cards because I'm not here to sell things, but self-appraisal is very important. And one way to find out who you are is through regressions. Now, she did reach out to Askana, and Askana has not gotten back to her. So that's kind of disappointing, but we can't let the universe is in charge, not us. So I suggest to start with Ivan anyway first, because of the fact that he's not as deep as her. Now, all these cards fell out. You just saw it. So the bottom of the deck is the High Priestess. So use your intuition, and I'm going to read all the cards that fell out. Okay, so use your intuition, just like I said with the regressions. $50 for a half hour is really inexpensive to find out a few of who you were in the past to get you rolling. Okay, so I won't tell you who she all was, but we were definitely sisters in many lives, and he confirmed that. Askana's goes a lot deeper, where if you already know that stuff, then hers goes deeper because she connects with your higher self. And if you listen to my regression under the videos tab, she got rid of the Nagas that were here, and she freed my mission partner from the Mitras. And I have a correction. It's not she, it's me. It's the higher self connects with me through her. So it's not her. She's only a medium. And so we got some stuff done that you only can do with your 3 and 4D and your 5D connected. So if you already know a lot about your past lives, then the best thing to do would be to just get maybe a half hour from Ivan and then go right into Askana and get the deeper one. But anyway, I just love it. It was life-changing for me, and it got me over my grieving process of losing my partner unexpectedly, and it got me to move to my next level. So I'm just checking out here. I heard a cat. Okay, so those are the two that I recommend. We've got the High Priestess and the Destiny card on the bottom of the deck. So everything I just said, and then under that was Temperance. So the angels got this. This is your Destiny card, this is your Angel card, and this is the Intuition card. So those are three really powerful cards to be on the bottom of the deck. Okay, the cards that flew out were the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. Wow, huh? Look at this. Followed by, it looks like the Three of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, the Chariot, the Two of Pentacles, the Death card, and the Three of Cups. So the celebration card is at the end after the transformation. So I'm understanding it perfectly. If you have three queens that came out, that's telling you that they want you to check this out and find out who you were. Who are you on these three queens, okay? You're the Queen of Pentacles in one life. You were the Queen of Wands in one life. The Queen of Cups in one life. That's love, money, and creativity. The only one that's not here is the Queen of Swords, because we already know the truth. Our higher self isn't going to lie to us in a regression, okay? So you just want to find out more about you being a Queen of Cups, a Queen of Wands, and a Queen of Pentacles. This is my manifestation card. So what have you all manifested? What have you all done in your past, future, present, right? The Wheel of Fortune. You've changed a lot of things in life. You've definitely changed a lot of things in life. And we've got the Chariot card. So you need to have balance because things are changing fast. And that's why when you know who you are and who you were in your past lives, this mission will be easier. See, our DNA is being activated and we're finding out who we are and who we were. But if you get a regression, it just intensifies it. It's kind of like if you said to me, I want to lose 50 pounds. Okay, so you quit eating bad food, you go to the gym, right? You change, you change your normal routine and you go into putting all these things in line, okay? You don't just change your eating habits, you change like 5 different things. Well, that's like with getting a regression. When you find out, if you watched my regression, when you find out that you drove flying pyramids in Egypt, when you find out you were cloned 8 times, when you find out you had Nagas sucking your energy, when you find out your partner was being controlled by the Mitras from the battlefields, etc., etc., when you find these things out, it like activates what you already know. You're going to say, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, that's why I like that. That's why I'm like this. Back to the 3 queens, right? Oh, that's why I love this. That's why I'm into this. That's how come I feel this way. Because cell memory. Cell memory is in all of our lives. Okay? So then, as I said, it's coming in fast. Information's coming in fast. So you have to keep balanced. 2 of Pentacles, a Chariot, and then it stopped with the Death card and the 3 of Cups. So the 3 of Cups here is showing me celebration, and the Death card is transformation. If you listen to my regression, at the end, my higher self says, I'm here for the celebration, but I've got to go through that transformation and that rebirth in order to become the celebration. Okay? We are the change. We are the superheroes. We are the ones changing all this through our collective, through our high vibes, through our angels. Back to Temperance, the star. This is our destiny. The angels got this. Okay? Self-appraisal is the title. That's what I want you guys to work on. I'm really proud of Susan for doing that. And I really hope you guys will check into who you are instead of sitting around waiting for that cake to come out of the oven, sitting around waiting for something to happen. Find out who you are and what your mission is. That's a lot more important. Okay, we're going to pick just a few oracle cards because everything I just said came out of them cards. And you don't want to do self-appraisal because you think it's time-consuming. You think that what was self-appraisal is not consuming or a joy killer. You think it's a joy killer. You don't want to hear about your past. You don't want to hear about it. Well, your past is what makes you. I just saw the death card again in this deck. You know, we have to have a rebirth, a transformation of old to new. And our DNA is being activated, but like I said with the gym analogy, it's not only about going to the gym, it's about changing all 5 aspects of the food, what you put into your body, the exercising, what you're reading, what you're doing, right? Everything's in there. There's like 5 things to lose that 50 pounds, right? Okay, let's do some oracle cards. So self-appraisal is really important right now. And while you're being activated, these things help. So now when Susan starts to get activated, she's going to remember what was said in the reading and what was said between me and her, and it's going to help her to upgrade. She doesn't think that she's worthy enough to go into 5D for good, and Ishmael, Ivan, and I've told her that we see her in 5D and higher and skipping 4D, because a lot of us are going to skip 4D, and these readings are all helping her to see that, and therefore she's not going to get stuck in 4D because she's getting all this information. If she does get stuck in 4D, that's because she wants to, okay? Some of us are going to stay here longer because we want to. Some of us are going to stay here longer because we didn't do what we were supposed to do. Well, I'd rather stay here because I want to than because I'm forced to, okay? So that's why it's really helping her see. Especially when 3 people that are really, really in tune, Ishmael, Ivan, and Miss Mystic, are telling her certain things. Bottom of the deck, angelic frequencies in reverse. So somebody's not listening to the right kind of things. They're not putting the right kind of talk into their head. They're not listening to the right kind of music. Maybe you're listening to too depressive music. Maybe you're not listening to the highest hertz. And a lot of people are watching the news, and they know more about the Pope and the announcement that was supposedly supposed to happen from Trump than they do about self-appraisal and who they were in their past lives. They're still too matrixy. I have a balance of all of it, okay? So underneath the angelic frequencies, we have jaded in reverse and survival mode in the middle. Now, what that means, because the deck broke in my hands, is you were in a survival mode and you were jaded, but you're not jaded anymore. So you're leaving your survival mode, and you were scorned, you were bitter, you had a hardened heart, and you were out for revenge. And that's because of our cell memory from our past lives. But you've learned that love has to be over revenge. In past lives, we were full of revenge because we were programmed that way. In this life, we're being unprogrammed to hear that it's not about revenge, it's about love and forgiveness. Big difference. I've been working on that for 30 years because in 1995, I would have rather put a curse on you than love you, okay? Today, I don't even think about that kind of stuff. I only think about love and forgiveness. So what changed? The thinking. the thinking. And I told you that it was through an AA program, but it's the only program on earth that is a good brainwashing. Okay? We need a brainwashing. Okay? So we're not jaded anymore. Underneath the survival mode was get a divine perspective on things. So once again, it's about mental clarity, the bigger picture, and seeing outside of one's ego. And again, that's what I was saying about the regressions. And I'm drawn to the hands. You see the hands up here? It's like God's hand or a foot. I can't really tell if that's a hand or a foot, but it's above the sun. So it's your higher self saying that they want to talk to you, but the only way they can talk to you is through a regression, because you can't really hear through all the noise in the matrix. There's a lot of energy harvesting going on. That's why when I told you I got disconnected from the Nagas and my mission partner, I freed him from the Mitras. That's real stuff. And if you listen to my regression, it's pretty deep. Most of you probably haven't even watched it. It's under the videos tab. Okay? So then we have a playboy narcissist and an overlord energy in reverse. So things are getting easier and better. The energy is releasing these energies from us. I know since I got my regression, I was freed of that. You're still going to have energy harvesting around you, but in reverse, it's much less. Much less. Just like the jaded card in reverse. This is the dream thief, the nightmares, and the nocturnal interference in reverse. So again, it's just saying that you're being totally protected. 17:17 on the clock. And that's because at night I've been telling you to go to bed and come to class in Astro. I've told you to go to the Akashic Records in Astro, redo your soul contract in Astro, and connect with me. Now, as I said, I have my phone number under the description. So if you do want to share a regression with me, you can. You can text it to me, you can email it to me, and we can talk about it on the phone. We can also talk about my regression on the phone. If you guys want to set up an appointment with me, and mine are free. So I talk and do readings all for free. So divinely guided, okay? Now this card was in reverse, okay? Because some of you aren't using your divinely guided powers, meditation, telepathy, law of attraction, and astral travel. So just what I got done saying, how many of you are doing it? Okay, Susan is a perfect example of somebody that does everything I suggest, and it's showing. And her eternity is based on it, because look at what's going to happen. She could possibly skip 4D and be a superhero in 5D, like most of us are going to be, come back and help others, and skip that whole nonsense of I have to be here for 1,000 years and work on my project, okay? Why does she get to skip a whole timeline or a whole dimension? Because she keeps doing what's suggested. How many of you are actually listening and doing what I'm suggesting? Okay, so I'm not here to tell you what to do, but back to the High Priestess. So we're right back, looped back right around to divine intuition. I'm not going to tell you what to do. This is about you using your third eye, your intuition, and connecting with your higher self. I'm just suggesting ways to do it that worked for me. Divine intuition, dreams, premonition, third eye, clairvoyance, everything I just said. Okay, so we just looped right back around, so we're going to go ahead and end it with use your own intuition, but do something. Self-appraisal. Do something. Do you need to lose weight? Do you need to get your hair done? Do you need to get a regression? Yeah, okay. So I love you guys. I am Miss Mystic. Thank you for listening.